This one is a little less significant to world politics and the stability of the world order, but it does show you the pettiness of the president and the conflicts of interest that the president clearly has. Donald Trump has conflicts of interest across the globe, but he stepped into one today on behalf of his daughter with a tweet against Nordstrom. So just a little backstory. Nordstrom has decided not to carry the Ivanka Trump line in their stores. We discussed this last week. And their decision, as they stated last week, was the result of the demand for her shoes, I believe, decreasing. So it was an economic decision. And they did not say permanently. They said for the spring line, they were not going to carry her shoes. Capitalism at work. All of them love capitalism. There's a decrease in demand. Why should Nordstrom carry it? Well, that didn't sit well with the president. And so he tweeted this out today. And apparently he tweeted it out during his intelligence briefing, or potentially, let me say allegedly or potentially, whatever disclaimer you want to give up front, during his intelligence briefing. And this is a tweet from Rosa Wang. I'm sorry if I know I messed that name up. But here's a tweet from Donald Trump. My daughter Ivanka has been treated so unfairly by at Nordstrom. He even tagged him in it. And he says, she is a great person, always pushing me to do the right thing. Terrible. So he's literally putting the bully in the bully pulpit. Somebody did something that he didn't like. He gets in front of the entire world, quite frankly, and he tries to pressure them. This is what he does. This is what he does. But what's interesting is that, let me pull that back up. That tweet was sent at 10:51 in the morning, according to, I forgot the name of the site. I think it's the WhiteHouseDossier.com. You can see that Donald Trump was in an intelligence briefing at 10:30 in the morning. Now, well, actually, I'm going to let Sean Spicer talk about it because he had a whole lot to say about two things. And before I play him, I want to point out one last thing. This came up in the press conference today. The reason it came up in the press conference was because the official president Twitter account at POTUS retweeted Donald Trump. So, of course, I'm pretty sure as a citizen still, he's president, but he can still do whatever the hell he wants to with his Twitter account. I think everyone can agree to that. But he retweeted this with the presidential Twitter account that's being managed and, paid for. It's probably not the right word, but I'm sure there's some expenses to maintain a Twitter account in the White House. And that account retweeted this message, essentially elevating and amplifying his personal beef with Nordstrom using White House and public resources. And so because of that, the question came up during the press conference today with Sean Spicer. And as always, it's fascinating to hear his spin on the issue. Listen in.
Well, I think this was less about his family's business and an attack on his daughter. He ran for president. He won. He's leading this country. And I think for people to take out their concern about his actions or his executive orders on members of his family, he has every right to stand up for his family and applaud their business activities,
Ivanka.
their success.
On the business activities that you described, the president taking offense to. Nordstrom has come out and says this was not a political decision, it was a business decision. Ivanka Trump, as you know, has said she has divorced herself, separated herself from a business. So how is she being treated unfairly if she's not?
Well, I think there's clearly a targeting of her brand and her name still out there. Well, so she's not directly running the company; it's still her name on it, and there's clearly efforts that to undermine that name.
He's working really hard for his check.
Positions on particular policies that he's taken. This is a direct attack on his policies and her name and so that there's clearly an attempt for him to stand up for her because she is being maligned because they have a problem with his policies. John,
I'll give you this much. I'll give you this one, and I will even applaud for this because Sean Spicer is working hard for that damn check. Sean Spicer is working overtime, realizing, holy shit, I've got to explain the idiocy of the sitting president. And he's equal to the task, right? He gets out there and he bullies his way through and does whatever he has to do to spin the issue. That's his job. He's earning his check. No, it doesn't work like that, though, Sean, because if Nordstrom makes a decision based on their economics, if the American people decide we don't want to support Nordstrom because they support Ivanka Trump, they have the right to withhold their money. That's capitalism. And if because of that boycott, Nordstrom decides there's not enough demand to carry her line, so why should we carry her line? That too is capitalism. Who cares if you don't like the result of what the markets say? Are you saying, because this is the hypocrisy. They're basically saying, well, we expect people to carry on the way they would carry on if Ivanka was not the first lady. I'm sorry, the first daughter of the United States. Are you saying that people have to go out and buy her stuff? I mean, because short of saying that, this is exactly how it works. We don't like this product because we don't like the people associated with it, and we have a right to not purchase it. Companies say, okay, and actually, it spread. The result of today was actually fascinating. Target and another company have decided to no longer advertise the Ivanka Trump brand. Good on them. And after Donald Trump's tweet today, the stock value of Nordstrom, you look on your screen, took a 4% increase, not a 4% hit. They increased in value by 4.09% today. So the same people who said, okay, we're going to grab our wallet, is actually the movement, grab your wallet, a play on Donald Trump's grab them by the, women said that they were not going to buy from Nordstrom until they, because they carried Ivanka Trump's line. And then Donald Trump comes after Nordstrom, and those same people said, you know what? We're going to go back and give our money to Nordstrom to support them because they made the right decision, in our opinion, and their stock value went up 4.09%. That's capitalism. I mean, if you don't like that, there are some alternatives that you can consider, but I'm pretty sure even in the alternatives, people would still pull their support away from any companies doing business with President Fuckface Von Cloudstick and his family. Hit them where it hurts, because that's all they ultimately care about is their money. And so you can see this particular boycott has worked out good, both for the people doing the protests and the company. Company ditched Ivanka and their stock value went up. I don't think it could actually get much better for them than that.